There's a lot of talk right now about where the Chargers offense actually stands heading into 2025. And honestly, the deeper you look at this roster, the clearer it becomes. We've got some legit building blocks, but we're not there yet. Not if we're talking about contending in the AFC. It's a roster that still feels like it's in progress. Some spots look solid, others are flat-out question marks, and there's a gap between what fans are hoping for and what this team has actually proven on the field. So here's the question I want to throw to you. Who do you think is the most underrated player on this Chargers offense right now? Not just the guy you like the most, but someone who isn't getting enough credit for what they bring. Drop your pick in the comments and tell me why. I want to see where you all stand on this. Let's break this offense down from top to bottom, not just based on names, but based on what these guys have done, where they're heading, and what kind of roles they're really going to have this year. What's up, Chargers fans? Welcome to the NFL Playbook, Chargers. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. This channel is all about breaking down everything you need to know about the Bolts. Let's start at the top. The way I see it, Rashawn Slater is still the most dominant and dependable piece on this entire offense. He's elite, pure and simple. Pass pro, run blocking, whatever you need, the guy handles it. When he's on the field and healthy, there's zero doubt. He's that dude. He's always in conversation with the best tackles in the game, and he deserves that recognition. That's the level he's playing at, and it's why I'd build an offensive line around him every single time. Now let's talk about the quarterback, Justin Herbert. And here's where it gets tricky. I still believe he's a top 5 quarterback in the NFL. I think most of us do, but you also have to admit, he hasn't broken into that truly elite all-pro tier yet. Not because of talent, but because of the things around him. The team's success hasn't been there. He's dealt with coordinator changes, injuries, shaky protection, and let's be real, some questionable game management. Still, what Herbert brings to the table? That arm's talent, toughness, the ability to extend plays, the leadership. He's special. He just hasn't had the platform yet to prove it in the way guys like Mahomes, Allen, Lamar, and Burrow have. And the good news? I think this could be the year he reminds people just how dangerous he really is. But he's going to need help, and one player who could be part of that help? Joe Alt. And honestly, I'm excited about what he brings. The expectations are massive, sure, but they should be. He's walking in as the starting right tackle on day one, and physically, he already looks like an NFL vet. He's big, he's strong, he's smooth in space, and now that he's bulked up even more, the anchors should be better. If he clicks early, and if he and Slater both stay healthy, this team has one of the better tackle duos in the league. Now, right behind those guys, for me, is Ladd McConkey. I've said it before. This guy's going to be a fan favorite. He plays fast, he's precise, he's fearless in the middle of the field, and he already has a connection with Herbert. You could see it last year. When things broke down, Herbert started trusting him, and that's not something that happens easily with young receivers. He just understands spacing and leverage better than most rookies I've seen. I honestly think he has Pro Bowl upside this season, especially in this offense. And from there, we hit that next tier. The solid, dependable starters who aren't flashy, but are important. Mekhi Becton is one of them. Yeah, there are still some issues with pass protection, but you can't deny his impact in the run game. He moves people. He finishes blocks. And if you're going to run the ball as much as I expect them to under Greg Roman, that kind of physicality is going to matter. If he stays on the field, and that's the key, he's going to make a difference. The same goes for the tight end room. Will Dissly doesn't get talked about much, but I think he's one of the better blocking tight ends in football. That's his role, and he plays it well. He's not flashy, but he'll give you 30 to 40 solid snaps every week and do the dirty work. Tyler Conklin is more the pass catcher, and I think he's a sneaky good addition. He's got soft hands, runs clean routes, and has produced in tough situations before. With Herbert throwing the ball to him and a more structured passing game, I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up being one of the more consistent pieces in this offense. Now, let's talk about the backfield, and specifically the roles of Najee Harris and Omarion Hampton. With Najee, I still see a steady, dependable back, but he's not dynamic. He's going to grind out yards, take hits, and keep moving. But you're not getting a ton of explosive plays. You're not getting game-breaking speed. You're getting a reliable chain mover, and that has value, don't get me wrong. But if you're building an offense around chunk plays and upside, he's probably not the guy for that role long-term, and that's why Omarion Hampton is so interesting, because he does bring that upside. He's the back that could pop off a 40-yard run out of nowhere. He's the one you're hoping becomes the lead back sooner rather than later. And if we're projecting forward, I'd be surprised if he doesn't take over that RB1 role by midseason. The potential's there, and the physical tools are obvious. Up front, Zion Johnson is still a work in progress. The athleticism is there. The strength is there. But those stunt pickups and communication issues, they still show up way too often. If he ends up playing center, which seems likely at this point, that could actually help him. It might simplify his responsibilities and allow him to play more freely. But until we see that improvement on the field, I can't rank him any higher than an average starter. Bradley Bozeman? Unfortunately, he's a tier below that. He's tough, but his limitations are clear. He's not the most mobile, and he struggled a lot in pass protection last year. Whether he ends up as the starting left guard or just interior depth, he's going to have to fight for his spot. The interior still feels unsettled to me. Trey Pipkins is your primary swing tackle now, and while that's a bit of a step back from being a starter, I actually think that's the right role for him. He's valuable depth. You don't want him playing 17 games, but if he's your first guy off the bench, you're in okay shape. Now shifting to tight end depth again, Rhonda Gadsden II has upside, but he's not there yet. He's not even TE2 right now. He's still learning, still adjusting, and that's fine. This year's about development for him. Same with Tucker Fisk. Not much of a receiving threat, but a solid blocker who will see the field in those heavy run packages. You know what you're getting. Then there's Scott Matlock, who basically exists in his own category as a fullback. Not many teams use one anymore, but this offense does. And if he leans into that niche, he could have a role. It's just hard to compare him directly with anyone else on this list. Let's shift to wide receiver now. And here's where things get a little concerned. Outside of Ladd, there isn't a single wideout I fully trust right now. Quentin Johnston still hasn't shown enough. He flashed a little more with this new system, but I'm still seeing too many routes that don't fit his game. He's not a consistent separator. He's not reliable on go balls. He needs touches that build confidence, quick hitters, crossers, screens, and I'm not sure he's getting enough of those. And then Mike Williams. I respect the vet presence, but he's clearly lost a step. The separation just isn't there anymore. And when your top wideouts, after Ladd are Mike and Quentin, both below average at this point, that's a depth issue. I like Trey Harris a lot long-term, but right now, he's not a starter. He's in rotation, and that's where he should be. The upside is there, and I think by next year we might be talking about him very differently, but at this moment, I can't put him any higher. Darius Davis probably sticks because of his return ability, but he's not making a big impact on offense. And then you've got bubble guys like Jalen Reagor, Brendan Rice, and Keandre Lambert-Smith. They're fighting for one, maybe two roster spots. One of them might flash in camp, but none of them are locked in. To me, the offense today looks average. Not bad, not broken, but average. If the line holds up and the young guys hit, they could climb into that solid tier, and that's what separates teams in this league. Not the big names, the depth, the development, the guys who make the leap when it matters. So let me throw it back to you. Are you sold on this offense? Or are we still waiting for too many things to fall into place? Let me know in the comments.